Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of the series where I make art with everything that I own. In the last video I used Kohinoor graphite pencils. I still have two different brands of graphite pencils, and this time I will be using Chiltern Arts graded pencils. There's 12 in a pack, includes grades from 5H to 6B, has an F grade but not an HB, which is an immediate drawback from my point of view. Another thing about these pencils is that they came unsharpened, which I think looks cool, but when I don't have a sharpener and only use this little scalpel knife, I'm not sure how it is actually called. It's not a surgeon's scalpel. I bought it in an art shop. So anyway, I only have that thing to sharpen pencils. It took me probably over 10 minutes to sharpen all 12. By the end my fingers hurt and were all covered in graphite. So that was how my experience with these pencils started, and it didn't get any better, unfortunately. I found that all pencils were very soft. Even the 5H was the same as a grade B pencil, which wasn't helpful, as I've mentioned before that I tend to make my drawings really light using mostly hard lead pencils. Alright, so as you can see, this time I'm drawing a different warrior, wielding a sword this time. In the last video I mentioned that my dad sometimes doodles swords and tanks actually. He's fascinated by everything related to war. He loves watching war documentaries, and in his free time he sometimes does a 3D tank puzzle with laser cut metal. I, on the other hand, am more scared than fascinated of all that, and I think these drawings are more influenced by movies like Lord of the Rings and TV series like Game of Thrones rather than real life. I remember when I was little, my dad and my mom watched Lord of the Rings. I think it was the first movie, and they were watching it in Russian, so I didn't understand anything. And I'm Lithuanian, by the way. So yeah, they were watching in Russian, and it sounded to me like a horror movie, and I was so scared. Like, I remember I ran out of the room thinking, that they were watching a horror movie. Then later, I don't know how old I was, maybe 15, 16, when I watched it by myself, and I realized it's actually not a horror movie, it's actually interesting. Yeah, and I watched it again with my friend later. I love fiction like that seems it could be real, and I think that's why it makes it easier for me to watch it, since I know it didn't really happen. Back to the drawing. I think that because of how these pencils are, this drawing turned out with more contrast, since making middle tones was harder when all the pencils leads are softer. But I kind of like how it turned out, and I might experiment more with these pencils. Maybe I can make it work. This was the first time I drew with them. And anyway, you'll see the end result in a second, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time in another graphite pencil drawing video. Thank you for watching.